When pain reveals it doesn't destroy, pain is an unavoidable part of being human. No matter who we are, life will eventually test us. It might come through loss, disappointment, or a season of uncertainty. In those moments, it can feel as if everything stable is slipping away. But pain, though uncomfortable, is not meant to destroy us. It is meant to reveal us. It shows us the depth of our patience, the strength of our character, and the clarity of our values when everything else is uncertain. The Stoic philosophers understood this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote that, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." What he meant was that the very thing we resist often becomes the path that helps us grow. The challenge that frightens us can become the opportunity that strengthens us. When hardship arrives, we often wish it away, believing that life should be free of struggle. But the Stoics taught that struggle is not a punishment. It's part of the human journey toward wisdom. Think about the times when you faced something difficult and came out stronger, wiser, or more patient. Those moments didn't break you. They revealed who you really were when comfort and ease were gone. Pain removes the surface layers we build around ourselves. It takes away pretenses and distractions, showing us our true foundation. When we stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin asking, "What can I learn from this?" our perspective changes. We shift from resistance to understanding. We stop seeing pain as an obstacle and start seeing it as a teacher. Every challenge carries a lesson, one that cannot be learned through comfort alone. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, experienced this firsthand. He lost his wealth in a shipwreck, yet instead of giving in to despair, he said, "I made a prosperous voyage when I suffered shipwreck." Losing everything led him to philosophy, and ultimately to peace of mind. His story reminds us that even in loss there can be direction. Even in endings there can be beginnings. Pain, when faced with honesty and courage, becomes a mirror. It reflects your endurance, your integrity, and your ability to stay calm when life is uncertain. It is not here to define you, but to help you discover what has been within you all along. So the next time life challenges you, pause and remind yourself, pain does not break you. It reveals you. Strength grows in discomfort. Strength is not built in comfort. It grows quietly in moments of difficulty, in times when life doesn't go as planned, and when we are asked to keep moving forward despite uncertainty. Every person wishes for peace and stability, but real growth happens when those things are momentarily taken away. The Stoics believed that the foundation of strength is not avoiding hardship, but learning how to face it with calmness and understanding. Musonius Rufus, often called the Roman Socrates, said, "A man is strong not because he avoids what is difficult, but because he faces it." In those words lies a simple truth. Challenges are opportunities to practice patience, courage, and endurance. Think about how a tree develops deep roots. It does not grow strong in perfect weather. It becomes stable when winds push against it, forcing its roots to go deeper into the ground. In the same way, every challenge you face pushes your inner strength to grow. Each obstacle tests your ability to stay balanced and centered, even when things feel uncertain. It's natural to wish for easier days, but an easy life rarely teaches us much. When life feels smooth, we often take peace for granted. It's only when difficulty arrives that we discover how much strength truly exists within us. The Stoics saw discomfort not as something to fear, but as a necessary part of becoming a wiser and more grounded person. Strength doesn't mean being unaffected by hardship. It means remaining steady while hardship passes through your life. It means accepting that pain and challenge are parts of the same world that also offers joy and peace. When we learn to see discomfort as a teacher instead of an enemy, it loses its power to discourage us. Every moment of struggle is a moment to build resilience. Each time you face something uncomfortable, a failure, a rejection, a delay, you are developing the ability to stay calm and focused. Over time, this calmness becomes your greatest strength. The Stoics taught that character is like a muscle. It grows stronger only when tested. The more we practice patience in difficulty, the more prepared we become for the future. Life may not always offer comfort, but it always offers the chance to grow. So when life feels heavy, remind yourself, this moment is not here to defeat you. It is here to strengthen you, gently, steadily, and quietly from within. True acceptance brings clarity. One of the most powerful lessons from Stoic philosophy is the idea of acceptance, not as surrender, but as understanding. Acceptance means seeing things as they are, not as we wish them to be. It is the moment when we stop resisting reality and begin working with it. Through acceptance, the mind becomes calm, and from that calmness, clarity begins to grow. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who once lived as a slave, taught this lesson with great simplicity. He said, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather wish that what happens happen the way it does, and you will find peace." These words do not encourage passivity. They remind us that we cannot always control what happens around us, but we can always control how we respond within ourselves. When we struggle against things we cannot change, we waste energy and lose perspective. But when we accept what is, whether it's loss, delay, or difficulty, we gain the ability to respond wisely. Acceptance clears away confusion and makes space for better choices. It helps us see what is within our control, our thoughts, our actions, and our attitude toward events. Imagine you are caught in a storm. You cannot command the rain to stop or the wind to calm, but you can choose how to hold your sail. In the same way, life's challenges cannot always be removed, but they can be met with steadiness and understanding. Acceptance allows you to move through hardship without being carried away by frustration or fear. Many people confuse acceptance with giving up, but in truth, it is the beginning of strength. When you accept the reality of a situation, you stop fighting what cannot be changed and start focusing on what can. This shift in focus is where progress begins. Acceptance also brings emotional balance. It helps you recognize that external events are beyond your command, but your inner response is always your choice. With this awareness, anger softens, fear quiets, and peace becomes possible. The Stoics believed that freedom is found not in controlling the world, but in mastering the self. Acceptance is the first step toward that mastery. It turns confusion into clarity, resistance into calm action, and fear into understanding. So when life challenges you, pause and remind yourself, acceptance is not weakness. It is wisdom. It allows you to see things clearly, act with purpose, and move forward with peace. Growth happens in the space between event and response. Life is a constant flow of events. Things happen around us, sometimes without warning, often without our consent. We face changes, challenges, and moments of uncertainty every day. But between what happens and how we respond lies a powerful space. In that space lives our freedom, our growth, and our strength. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that we cannot control events themselves, but we can control our judgments about them. This is where our power begins. When something difficult happens, our first reaction may be emotional. Anger, sadness, frustration. That is natural. But what defines our character is not the first feeling. It is the choice we make afterward. The Stoics believed that in this small pause, in that breath between reaction and response, lies the essence of wisdom. Hardship often removes the illusions we depend on. The belief that life will always be fair, that others will always understand us, or that comfort will last forever. When these illusions fall away, we are left with what is real, our thoughts, our choices, and our values. In that simplicity, we find truth. This is why Stoic thinkers viewed adversity not as a punishment, but as a teacher. It gives us the chance to practice patience, self-control, and understanding. Every time you choose to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively, you grow a little stronger. You begin to see that peace is not the absence of challenges. It's the result of responding to them with balance and awareness. Marcus Aurelius, writing in his private journal during times of war and loss, reminded himself that the mind has the power to shape experience. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." These words are timeless because they speak to something universal. We cannot always change what happens, but we can always choose the meaning we give it. When you start noticing the space between event and response, you begin to live more consciously. You become less controlled by emotions and more guided by values. This awareness brings peace, patience, and inner stability, qualities that no circumstance can take away. Growth, then, is not something that happens outside of you. It begins in that quiet space within, the moment you pause, reflect, and choose your response with wisdom instead of impulse. So the next time life tests your patience, remember, your response is your power. What happens is not who you are. How you choose to meet it, that's where real growth begins. 5. The lesson within. Every hardship, every person faces seasons in life that feel difficult and heavy. These moments may arrive quietly or suddenly, but they always leave an impression. The Stoics believe that within every hardship lies a lesson waiting to be understood. While pain can feel immediate and clear, the wisdom it carries often reveals itself slowly, through patience, reflection, and acceptance. Life's challenges are not here to punish us. They are part of our development. Just as a sculptor shapes stone into form through pressure and careful effort, life shapes our character through experiences that test our patience, discipline, and compassion. Each difficulty gives us a chance to examine ourselves, to see what we truly value, what we can let go of, and what kind of person we wish to become. When we face a setback, our first instinct may be to question why it happened, but the Stoic approach invites a different question. What can I learn from this? By shifting the focus from frustration to understanding, we open the door to growth. Every hardship, no matter how small, contains an opportunity to strengthen our wisdom and emotional balance. Cleanthes, one of the early Stoic thinkers, once said, "Lead me, O Zeus, in destiny. Wherever you have assigned me, I will follow without hesitation." He did not mean to accept fate passively. He meant that harmony with life comes from moving forward with courage, even when the path feels uncertain. This attitude transforms hardship into a teacher rather than an enemy. When life becomes challenging, it helps to remember that every test faced by you has been faced by countless others before. What separates growth from despair is not the difficulty itself, but the mindset we bring to it. If we meet hardship with patience and humility, it becomes a lesson. If we resist it with anger or denial, it becomes a burden. The Stoics believed that real peace comes from aligning our thoughts with reality. We cannot control every event, but we can control the meaning we give to those events. When we see hardship as a teacher, we begin to find calm even in struggle. No storm lasts forever. Pain fades, but the lessons it teaches remain. These lessons form the foundation of wisdom, a steady guide that helps us live with clarity and strength. So when life feels difficult, remind yourself, this moment is not against you. It is guiding you toward growth, understanding, and peace.